Right, what's up, folks? So, the holidays have come and gone, and basically, for those of you who don't know, I guess those of you who aren't on my Facebook, uh, here, I guess it's right around. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I guess it was right around Halloween, maybe a little bit before then. I got this new camera, and was super stoked about it. And basically, like, a week after I got the camera, my computer started glitching up and misbehaving. So, I got a friend of mine, works at a computer shop. So, he came over and did some testing. And basically, we came to the conclusion either the motherboard had gone out or the processor had gone out. Either way, I got my computer at the beginning of 2010. So there's really no point in going out and getting a new processor for a computer that's almost 5 years old, or going out and getting a new motherboard for a computer that's almost 5 years old to match a processor. What I'm saying is there's no point in getting a processor to match a motherboard that's 5 years old, or a motherboard to match a processor that's 5 years old, because the technology is 5 years old. So I was came to the conclusion that, well, maybe it's time to just get a new motherboard, new processor, and while I'm at it, just upgrade some other stuff. So basically, I put some stuff on my Christmas list of things that I needed, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna wait until after Christmas, and if and when everything comes in, then I'll order what's left over and call it done. So I finally got everything in. I put it in the computer. It's really funny. So it was February of 2010. I went out and bought a new computer at Best Buy, and so I just got the best like OEM computer they had. So I got an HP computer, and at the time it was like quad core AMD processor with 8 gigs of RAM, DVD burner, 1 terabyte hard drive, and some other stuff like that. So it was pretty smoking for the time as far as just a general computer. And I was just getting into standard definition video editing at that point. I hadn't gone to the high def yet. And it was just a rock star at it. But anyway, so now it's time to get into a computer, so it's time to take a look at what specs are going on and other things of that nature. But so throughout the years, I've been upgrading things here and there. Now it has a Blu-ray burner. It has 3 internal 1 terabyte hard drives. Trying to think what else I upgraded. I upgraded some other things in it. Oh, I upgraded the power supply. Well, I'll get into that in a second. But alright, so now everything in the computer is upgraded except for the case. The case is still an HP case, but all the guts inside it are completely aftermarket, high dollar stuff. Like that, folks. White Castle. Yeah. That's freaking really hot coffee. What? What? It's freaking hot. The wife's giving me some lip. You come over here and drink it. I just got off the stove. It was boiling 3 seconds ago. But anyway. So, so without further ado, here's all the crap that I got. So, I'll start off with the motherboard. So, I got Gigabyte Z97M D3H, which went with the I guess the D3H, yeah. Yeah, I went with that one because of its overclocking abilities. I'm not utilizing them at the moment, but it's there in case I want to. I'll probably have to get like a water cooler and some other things of that nature, but yeah, it's there if I want it. But I went with the 97M chipset because I was wanting to go with the LGA 1150 chipset. So yeah, got that. Pretty stoked about it. I've really enjoyed the BIOS on this. It has some interesting features like, well, I don't know if anybody else has them, but I just thought it had interesting features like wake. So I could set the computer to wake up at certain times on certain days. So if I don't want to wait for, all 3 seconds for it to start up, it'll already be booted up at the screen. And also, I did get a Windows 8 license. So now I'm running Windows 8.1, which is a solid operating system. Now, for those of you who are like, yeah, well, it's not as good as Windows XP. It's not as good as Windows 7. I've been with Windows since Windows 3.1. So, and MS-DOS 6 at the same time. So I'm very familiar with the Windows operating systems. I was with Windows 3.1, Windows 95, Windows 98, Windows 98 SE, Windows ME, Windows XP, then Windows 7. Completely skipped Vista, so I don't know anything about Vista. Windows 7, then I went to Windows 8, and then now I'm at Windows 8.1. And I have to say Windows 8.1 is by far the best, most rock solid, most stable, just the best operating system they've come up with. And that's 9 operating systems I've used from the company. And it's just a phenomenal operating system. Alright, so my old motherboard, the HP OEM motherboard, it had FireWire included on the onboard FireWire. The Gigabyte motherboard doesn't have onboard FireWire, so I had to get a FireWire port, which is kind of cool because it has 2 external FireWire ports and then 1 internal FireWire port. I thought that was kind of interesting. The only downside about this FireWire port I didn't notice is it requires external power. So you have to hook up one of those IDE power cable ribbon things right there. So that added another cable that I had to use. Also, we're using a Corsair CX600M 600 watt power supply. So far, no complaints, and it's serving very well. If in a year I might update to a 750 maybe, because these use power somewhat as time goes by. So 750 will give me more, breathing room. Let's see what else. Also, since I was running out of PCI Express ports because the motherboard only has 2 PCI Express ports and 2 PCI ports, whereas my HP motherboard had 3 PCI-X ports. So I had to run out and get myself a USB internet thingy, which, to tell you the truth, this little thing has actually been better than the PCI-X Wi-Fi modem thingy that I had on the HP. It's actually, I'm getting better speeds on USB than I was on PCI-X. So it's probably because it's just a better 802.11n or whatever you call it band. So that's probably what it is. Doesn't tell us what. Oh, okay. 802.11 BGN at 2.4 gigahertz and 802.11 AN at 5 gigahertz. Okay. But anyway, so, and then I'm also got a Cooler Master Hyper T4 fan for cooling down the CPU. And now to get to the fun stuff. So the CPU I arrived at, after no debate at all, because it was a pretty easy decision, is the Intel i7-4790K. So we got the i7-4790K. This has been a powerhouse processor. If anybody's thinking about going i7 or i5, definitely go with the 4790K. I've been using it for the past all afternoon and evening. I mean, I got home from work today at 2, and I finally got everything up and running at about 3:30. I've been struggling with this for 2 days, trying to get all my system up. Because I just started from a brand new, fresh install. I just wiped the drive and started over. But anyway, so I finally got to have some fun with it, and it's a really solid. Put that there. Really solid processor. The only other thing I was thinking about going was the I'm trying to think what it was, the 5960, I think. Whatever it was the next one up, but it was it wasn't an 1150 socket. It was the next socket up, which basically requires a new motherboard, requires DDR4 RAM, and some other things like that. And so the motherboard with the next Intel processor was $300. So I was like, how about no? But it was in the same price range. I was looking at this. But anyway, this is 4 gigahertz at stable, or I'm sorry, at what do you call that? At idle. 4 gigahertz at idle, and it can ramp up to 4.4 gigahertz under stress. And it was regularly showing that on the system specs. I was seeing 4.37, you know, at holding good speeds while I was doing some high pressure things. And you can overclock it. I've seen some people push it to 5.1 megahertz, or gigahertz, I'm sorry, 5.1 gigahertz, which is really, really, really impressive. So I'm really stoked about that. Can't wait to see what this little guy is going to be able to do. And also went out and got a EVGA NVIDIA GeForce GTX 760, and I went with the 4 gigabyte model for just for better rendering and things of that nature. Especially with After Effects and Premiere Pro, Photoshop, things of that nature. It'll really work out. And then I was like, well, you know what, the freak. I got a graphics card, may as well get the most of it. So I went and threw in Battlefield 4 just a moment ago. And it was running, I was able to put it at ultra settings. And sucker is carrying Battlefield 4 ultra settings, 60 frames a second. And it's just really stable at 60 frames a second. There was a couple points, like at the beginning, where you throw the C4 pack at the wall and it explodes. Like during the explosion, it did a quick frame drop and then it went back to 60. And also during the scene at the beginning where all the guys are coming out in that courtyard in that like blown out hotel or whatever that was, and they were everybody shooting, it dipped just for like 2 seconds and then caught back up. So this little guy has been holding extremely well. And I was looking at a 550 Ti, and I'm so glad I decided to upgrade and go with this. I'm definitely not disappointed. So looking forward to getting some other games and things of that nature. So it has a HDMI output, DVI-I output, DVI-D output. Right now my monitor is VGA, so I'm just rocking the DVI-I to VGA adapter. But so that's probably why I was able to get it at ultra settings, is because it's only outputting at basically 720p. But yeah, so there's that. I guess there's not really much else to say. I'm just really stoked about all this stuff, and really excited to see what happens. I'll do a quick test here in a second for you guys to see the difference between my computer and my wife's computer at encoding some video. And just to be fair, since our computer's old, I'll put hers at... she's clapping. I'll do some standard def video, but it's crazy just to see it. So yeah, there's that. I guess that's all there is to say. Pretty stoked about all this though, and as I said, if anybody is any questioning a processor, definitely go with this little guy, the Intel Core i7 4790K. You will not be disappointed. It's been rock solid. And then this graphics card has been pretty rock solid too to get ultra settings. Going to look into Far Cry 4, thinking about looking at that and see how I can get to see how far I can get with that as far as pushing the graphics envelope. But yeah, and just for the sake of specs, my computer has 16 gigs of RAM at 1660 megahertz or 1600 megahertz. So I was getting really good RAM readings too. I was doing some benchmark tests. It's getting some really good RAM readings too. I may upgrade the RAM to a 32 gig just for craps and giggles, but we'll see about that. That'll probably be down the road. But I'm also looking to get a 4K monitor. So, yeah. But, yeah, there's that. Peace out. Okay, so we got the wife's computer over here, and we got my computer over here. So, as you see, it's the exact same clip going to the exact same source, both 5 minutes and 2 frames long. So exactly, I guess, 5 minutes long. So we'll see how long it takes to encode these. Okay. Okay, on your mark, get set, go. And they're off. And this is going to H.264 compression. So earlier I did the same test to MPEG compression, and it just went off like a rocket. But H.264 is a little bit more in depth. So yeah. And it's done. So mine completed in like 2 minutes. Oh, looks like 1:45. And the wife still says 6.5 minutes to go. Do I?
Oh shit. She was sitting on my earbud and I pulled it and apparently hit her butt. She went,
I guess there's no reason to keep on playing that. But yeah, there you go. So yeah, there's a speed test. My computer smoked it.